Hi, I just realised I have a chair behind me for a reason. That was to stack the books so I didn't have to bend down as far. Hi, my name's Maria and welcome to my channel MH Books, and today I am going to film this book haul before the light completely fails. I have been in the hospital visiting my dad, so I've just come back and I want to pre-film this for the very first time ever. I will actually not put something up the day I film it. I don't know why I'm obsessed with putting it up as soon as I film it. Maybe because there's not much room on my iMac. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's all it is. But we'll see. So hopefully this is Saturday. This will go up in the middle of the week if I can stick to my rules. Can't stick to my rules in my book buying ban. So we're about to see the book haul that's a result of it. Okay, I still have to go around. Alright. First book. The Devil I Know by Claire Kilroy, an Irish author. I got for $1.99 in WH Smith's yesterday, which is my reason for buying it. And it's about Tristan St. Lawrence, who returns home to Dublin after a period of self-imposed exile. Beyond that, I know nothing about it, except I like Claire Kilroy as a writer. Fairly good reviews. John Banville is and Anne Enright are blurbing this book, so it can't be too bad. This way, if I keep quick, and when I admit I don't know something, we might be more reasonable. In time limits. This one wasn't bought in the Gutter Bookshop. I'm going to show you what I bought in the Gutter Bookshop, but bought as a result of their display. The Chestnut Man by the author of The Killing, so we're going to trash the name, Soren Sveistrup. So some lovely, what do they call it? Nordic noir? Crime noir? So yeah, if you saw my first video after a little while, I'm starting to get into the dark fiction, crime dark fiction. I'm always been into dark fiction. Because I realised from the spine that this is the same author as the Chalk Man, or it's the Chalk Men, which I really enjoyed, and a lot of people didn't, but I really enjoyed it. And as I really just enjoyed the Flower Girls, I got this one. By the way, these were all from WH Smith's in Arnott's in Dublin. The Talking Turn, so I'm just assuming I'm going to enjoy this. Just because I've been having, it's great for stressful times to get just lost into a suspense thriller, so I'm assuming I'm going to like that. This one is because I've already read and loved it on audio. Oh look, there's Amy at Zoebeck. Hey Amy, I'm just looking at your tweet there. That's what happens when you film on the phone. 14 by Peter Clines. Just finished Paradox Bound. Wonderful history, not time travel, history travel novel. Read this one. This one is a horror novel by him. It's for fans of Scooby-Doo and fans of Lovecraft who think the two of them should mix. I think they compare it to Lost on the cover, and I can see where they're coming from, but I'm saying Scooby-Doo meets definitely meets Lovecraft. Lovecraftian monsters in this. So for horror fans out there, 14, hard to get a copy of that. Had to buy it from Book Depository. Couldn't get it in the libraries, couldn't get it second hand. Easy to get an Audible, but to get a hard copy, and I really wanted to try it in hard copy, you had to do it that way. Okay, because I'm into Roman noir, I thought I would try out this one, which is supposed to be, because the book I read was a little bit sexist and classist and all the rest, and it was a book of its time, 1940s. This is also supposed to be Roman noir, dark fiction, and it's Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga, I can't pronounce the last name, this is terrible, Tokarczuk. I'm so sorry. More famous for Flights, which loads of people love. Haven't read Flights yet, but I'm dying to read this one because the title, Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. No, I'm doing this quickly. I'm not going to go and talk about what all the books are about. The same way I got them. Four Letters of Love, Niall Williams. It's a wonderful book. This one, I will tell you, the opening line of it, I have read it twice on Audible. This is the first edition paperback, kind of scruffy, but I got it from a charity shop. Not that scruffy. I think it's beautiful though. Okay, when I was 12 years old, God spoke to my father for the first time. God didn't say much. He told my father to be a painter and left it at that, returning to his seat amongst the angels and watching from the clouds of the grey city to see what would happen next. And what happens next is amazing. There are 4 letters of love. This is my exception to the rule. I don't love love stories. There's love stories in this, and it's beautiful. It's set a lot on the west coast of Ireland, some in Dublin, but mostly in the west coast around Ennis, around that kind of area, and on the Aran Islands. Definitely lyrical literature. If you're into literary fiction and you like, I don't know, Colm Tóibín, maybe, probably, but it's a bit more lyrical than that. Let me try to think. I can't think. Oh, it's gone. But if you like lyrical Irish fiction and you haven't tried Niall Williams yet, I would recommend this is a good place to start. Maybe if you had to pick up something to do with romance and you're like me, don't particularly like romance as a genre, that one crosses a few boundaries. Okay. Started watching YouTube again just in time for everybody's prediction for the prizes. This is one that a lot of people predict for the women's prize. Sorry, for their prizes. For the women's prize. This is one a lot of people predicted, and I kind of like, I have to get it now, because I've wanted it for a while, so I had to get it. So by Year of Relaxation, by Ottessa Moshfegh. Why do I do things where I have to say things? I think I should write a blog. I can't say people's names. I'm also the writer of Eileen. I have to keep making myself not read this because I have to finish my library books. But it's very tempting. I really want to read that one. This one, if we're in the ideal location, except I've run out of space in the bookshelf. 20th Century Ghosts, Joe Hill, picked up in the charity shop. Don't know how I'm going to make him fit in. Joe Hill's going to have to go and move away from his dad. It's about time, he's grown up now. It's his short stories. I've just been meaning to pick it up for ages. I like Joe Hill's better characterization, more or less, than Stephen King, his father. If you don't know, his father was Stephen King. He says he picked up this characterization from his mother, but he spins a good yarn as well. So if, you like that kind of thing, obviously. Great fun in Hodges Figgis. Hodges Figgis is the largest retail store and the oldest one in Ireland, or definitely Dublin anyway. It's now owned by Waterstones. It's been owned for over 200 years by somebody. Somebody had owned it, didn't they? But I picked up some things. I have another one of these as well. These are only €5. So I would normally only buy Persephone books in the Persephone shop. But they're just a little teeny tiny bit. They need a little bit of a wipe down. So that's Mama. What are you called now? Which is Jacqueline Mesnil Amar, which is actually a biography about a French Jew, or it's her letter, sorry, or a diary. There's photographs of her in there. So this is non-fiction. So there's some photos in there. Actually have their number one as well. It's in this pile somewhere. We'll get there. Again, prize predictions, made a long list. Swan Song, Kaylee and Greenberg chef coat. I will admit I did not pick this up until I made the prize list because I don't like the cover, and that's the reason not to buy a book when you buy so many books. But it has made the long list. I found it in the Oxfam bookshop, so we are going to read it. We are definitely going to read it. Again, book buying ban, not supposed to buy books more or less full price. Local bookshop, but a book that was, I'm allowed to buy it if they're really, really cheap. But while I was there, I picked up The Dirty Mert because the cover is gorgeous. And the woman at the checkout, the first thing she said was, I don't know what that book is about, but isn't the cover gorgeous? I want to read it. And yeah, me too. This one is about a virus with people falling asleep. A lot of people have been disappointed by it, but still intrigued to read it. And the cover is gorgeous. This is a book I bought cheaply. Somebody from London goes to a rural house in Ireland, and yeah, she hopes that this will be a perfect to turn their friendship. So she has an invitation from Niall Blake to join him for a weekend in his family home in rural Ireland, and she hopes that it's perfect to turn their friendship into something more significant. But Niall has a different reason for his proposition. So it was actually very reasonably priced, and again, I've just been in a mood for psychological thrillers and mysteries and things that are easy to read, because there's a hell of a lot going on in my life at the moment, and sometimes you just want something that the brain just has to accept the story and not expect the best prose, the best dialogue, and all the rest of it. Okay. Go into the Hodges Figures back. Obviously one of those books back out. So that's the number one, as in the first edition ever of the Persephone books, and it's William and Englishman by Cicely Hamilton. By the way, I just seen them, they were a $5. I didn't care what they were. Persephone books are always good, so I didn't even bother to check. Normally I would check. This is, I'm stressed, so I'm allowed to buy a book, any book I like. Oh look, it's on the women's list. Remembered, it's beautiful, full price. Not supposed to buy full price books. Yvonne Battlefelton on the thing. I was intrigued when I seen it on the long list because I knew nothing about it. There you go, there's a reason for the book. This one was again on the sale shelf, it was half price. So I did see this on BookTube, so it's somebody's fault. Helen Cunn's The Lost Letters of William Woolf. Again, because I thought this might be a nice brain deady book, maybe a more cheerful one than the horror and the psychological thrillers, you know. For, you know, long A&E visits and the stuff I've been doing recently. Okay. My favourite bookshop ever is this bag, but before this, one of these bags in here, one of the books in here, it's actually from a charity shop. So this was quite infamous. A few years ago, Reservoir 13 by John McGregor. I managed to pick it up in a charity shop. At the time I said if I find it in a charity shop, oh, I have to do it this way because of where I've put the lighting. I would buy it. So guess what? I eventually found it in a charity shop. Woohoo! It was in St. Vincent's shop on Georgia Street, because let's advertise bookshops while we're here. Alright. Last but not least, my favourite bookshop ever, where I am allowed to buy books at full price because I have rules, which I don't obey, but I have them. Because it was on the long list, The Sign of the Girls. Again, I have been avoiding this book because I don't like the cover. Seriously, dudes. I avoided The Invisible Furies as well until it came up as a group read because I didn't like the cover and I didn't like the title. John Byrne, I do not like your titles. So, you know, you are very funny in person. And again, because I've been dying to read this, The Corset by Laura Purcell. I've been dying to read this, and I still haven't read The Silent Companions, and it's such a beautiful book. You see, I'm buying books because they're beautiful, but not reading them. And that's the end of my books. But if you are in Dublin and you want to visit one of the friendliest bookshops in town, do try the Gutter Bookshop. Because we are on the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. Right, so there is the end of a book haul. If I shut up really quickly, I can make it under 15 minutes. Yay! Sorry, didn't say much about the books, but you know what? If you're me and you watch other people's books haul, sometimes you just want to go, yeah, I've been meaning to pick that up. I'll just order a book depository while I'm watching. See you then, and have fun wherever you are. Bye!